Alright, YouTube, that wasn't even the subject for today. Alright? The subject for today, for this video, is agility. Alright? So what is agility? How smooth you transition literally from one area to the next, okay? Literally. So what does that mean? That means practice. That means, take over time, guys. Literally. That's what agility is. You know how I was doing one hand in front of the other, like rapper in high school? Literally, when I literally I shot with one hand, right? Literally, guess what ended up happening, right? Literally. Robert would move from side to side. Literally, when I put one hand up, literally, and when he danced around, literally, I got woozy, and he waited for the right time to throw a hook. That's agility, guys. Agility, literally, is your legs moving in between theirs, literally opening the way for a hook, right? Literally, so, the reason why you need agility, all right? Literally is because literally that's all rules of boxing, not just one. All right, it's not that simple. All right, so shout to my people, not my stalkers who actually know about my fighting style. I figured out how to fight now. I have to have my way of fighting reinstated. All right, since I actually played around 2 rules of boxing. Literally, Chris has other rules that are higher and lower at the same time, and mine are higher. All right, literally so like Uncle Larry and Uncle Harold are doing is the same that my tool for boxing is interesting, all right? Literally, because my tool, I don't want to spoil anything, is playing off of agility. The reason why agility is important, literally, is because you're a jack of all trades. So agility, all right, is bopping and weaving. That's one part of the fucking agility, all right? Literally, you see how I did this throughout the video? Literally, if you're blocking, literally, I can confuse you. I can blur myself, literally, and I can hook at the right time. But in order to blur at the right time, I have to be technical, okay? Literally, you have to understand that, okay? So agility is very important. Remember, literally, you know how Chris literally moved from side to side while I had a rage fit literally that one night? Chris used agility, all right? Literally, he uses agility to confuse people. And the reason why this subject is so important is because, gang members have way more agility than autistic kids. Literally, and that's why they're dangerous, okay? Literally, you have to understand. Literally, how autistic kids are oblivious to the situation, not aware of the situation. Gang members are all up on the situation. You know why? They have agility in a meeting. They make you work out, and they make you dance at the same time, and they make you box people, all right? Literally, that's what makes a nerd socially awkward. That's what makes a gangster socially accepted 24/7, okay? Even to the point where it's bad for him. Now you get the fucking gist, okay? Literally, because what you didn't understand, literally, is the tool that the autistic kid in the hood uses, when he becomes a dad, all right? Literally, is that he counters agility, literally, with the quirk of dad, all right? What does that mean? Literally, that means, literally, I understand, literally, he's gonna have some rule for boxing. Literally, you see how I, comprehended what the gang members were trying to do? Literally, that's kind of literally what dad does. Because what dad does is he does, literally, the crazy thing like a cartoon, when you try to come at him with composure. Literally, that's why a gang is no match for a dad, but that's what he didn't want to understand. Literally, if they're dominant, literally, when you're fucking teens, all right? Literally, and you don't want to understand that they got hang of what they're doing when they grew up, that you didn't grow up with it itself. Do you understand? Literally, so agility, all right? Literally, it's very fucking important because what the gang members do today, they fucking agility, they box, literally, they move from side to fucking side, literally, and that's why I learned information, literally, the most important tool, literally, of a little guy getting inside, a big guy, which is actually more similar to your think when you actually start boxing, literally, is that literally, if I keep on, not reading no movements, going side to side, literally, okay, literally, and guess what's going to happen? That means a tall person is going to have the opportunity that he should never have in a fight, literally, which is to throw a hook at a smaller person because he kept on dancing around, because he kept on, not reading my actual movements. Literally, I actually got a chance to throw a hook. All right, now that's never going to happen. Okay, literally. All right. All right, agility is very fucking important. All right, literally, and the thing about agility is balance, because with agility comes technicality. Because what Chris could do, literally, from fighting ever since he was younger against Norte, literally, he could do agility, literally, at will, literally. So it's all about practicing and keeping your balance. Okay, so all right, to keep it 100, this is Moodtrix, and this is my talk about agility.